going on, yo? Fast Sports Talk back at it with another video, talking some NFL, talking fantasy football, here to bring you guys more fantasy football advice, as a lot of you guys have asked me to keep making videos for this. So here I am bringing you guys some more info. Let's get started with today's video, talking about 4 players that I think will break out this year in fantasy football and why you should target these guys. I'm going to be giving you guys one guy from each position, so quarterback, one receiver, one running back, and one tight end. So without further ado, let's get started. And we will start at quarterback, and my breakout player for the quarterback position this season is a guy who's actually been getting a lot of love. So I feel like I haven't really gone kind of under the radar with the guy you guys didn't expect. It's Marcus Mariota, okay? He's going to break out. I fully believe in Mariota. I love him as a player and even more as a fantasy player. He already had a decent season last year. Not even decent. He had a pretty good season last year. 26 touchdowns to just 9 interceptions before he ended up getting hurt. And the Titans, I believe, are going to be legit playoff contenders this season. They're probably going to win their division. I give them as good of a shot as anybody in that division. But with that being said, Mariota is going to have a lot more weapons this season. They signed Eric Decker, who is one of my sleepers in fantasy football. Made a video about that. Go check that out. Love Eric Decker. They drafted Corey Davis with the number 5 overall pick. He's going to be a big-time target for Mariota as well. And then, of course, you have Delaney Walker. You still have guys like Tajay Sharp, Rashard Matthews still there, DeMarco Murray out of the backfield, Derrick Henry as well. So a lot of options for Marcus Mariota, who I think is absolutely going to explode this year. He's being drafted in, like the 8th, 9th, 10th round, and I think he's going to put up easy QB1 numbers that are going to be comparable to the quarterbacks being taken in the 3rd and 4th and 5th round. I have him putting up his stats here. My projections: 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,200 yards. Last year, he only had 3,400 yards, had a 95.6 passer rating, so I expect him to surpass all those numbers. Love Marcus Mariota in fantasy this year. Moving on to running back, and a guy a lot of people did not pay attention to. He's a free agent signing that changed teams. I'm talking about Mike Gillislee. Yes, that's right, Mike Gillislee of the Buffalo Bills, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, now of the New England Patriots. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, look, I hate Patriots running backs. I never like drafting them, and I'm one of them. I hate drafting Patriot running backs. But LeGarrette Blount changed that for me last year, okay? He had a leading 18 rushing touchdowns, okay? The Patriots get in the red zone, and they get in there often, and especially when they're up big, and they're going to be up big a lot this year, okay? They're one of the top teams, if not the top team in the NFL. They tend to pound the rock with LeGarrette Blount, and Mike Gillislee's the perfect guy to replace him, and I believe he's going to replace that role. I know they have other guys on the roster like Dion Lewis, James White. They signed Rex Burkhead, but I expect Gillislee to be the starter. I expect him to take that LeGarrette Blount power back role. Yeah, they're going to have those other guys be the passing down backs, and that's fine. It's not going to take away from Gillislee, who last year had a little over 500 rushing yards, but had 8 touchdowns, okay? Shady McCoy rushed twice as many yards as him and had 13 touchdowns. So just 5 more touchdowns for him. Mike Gillislee is the perfect definition of what we call a vulture in fantasy, but this time he won't be vulturing anything. He's going to be the starter, and he's going to score for you guys. So love the touchdown upside. I think he's a red zone monster. I think the Patriots get in the red zone, and I think they score. I expect him to get somewhere between 800 and 900 yards and double-digit touchdowns for sure. I'm projecting maybe 12, 13, something like that. So love Mike Gillislee, and you're going to get him really low in fantasy. He's getting drafted I would say probably like the 6th, 7th, 8th, lower than that probably. And he's going to put up solid RB2 numbers. Love Gillislee. Let's move on to my breakout receiver. I'm going with a guy who got love last year at the end of it, but really didn't. Jamison Crowder of the Washington Redskins. I think he's a prime candidate to break out. No Pierre Garçon, no Deshaun Jackson, Kirk Cousins in another contract season because the Redskins just don't want to extend him. They keep franchising him, but that's another story for another day. Jamison Crowder is primed to take a bigger role on the offense. Jordan Reed keeps getting hurt. His health is always a question. So now who's the only competition? Yes, I know they signed Terrell Pryor, and he is the only competition. But Terrell Pryor is going to get a lot of coverage this year. He's going to have a lot of teams focusing and paying attention to make sure Pryor, who had a breakout season last year, okay, he was the breakout player last year. You see what I'm doing here? Crowder's a breakout player this year. Last year, Crowder had 847 yards, 7 touchdowns on 67 catches. I'm projecting somewhere between 80 catches, 1,100 yards. I think he easily crosses 1,000 and 10 touchdowns for Jamison Crowder. He's being drafted as a wide receiver 3. I think he can be a wide receiver 2. I think he's that special. I love Crowder. The best part about Crowder is last year he was primarily slot. This year, I believe he's going to play both outside and slot, okay? He's not coming off the field. He's going to play every snap, and you love that from Crowder, a guy who you can get as a wide receiver 3 later in the rounds, and he can give you better production. I think he's going to break out. And finally, let's go with my tight end, and a guy a lot of people may not have paid attention to. He came on late last season. I'm talking about Jack Doyle of the Indianapolis Colts, who put up just about 584 yards and 5 touchdowns, okay, which is pretty good for a tight end, okay? There's not that many good tight ends in the league, okay? Not every team has a Gronk or a Travis Kelce or someone of that caliber, okay? So for Jack Doyle, putting those numbers with Dwayne Allen, who is now gone, okay, he is on the Patriots, so that's my number 1 reason for why I like Jack Doyle. And my number 2 reason is there is no worriness within me that Doyle will suffer from his stats if Andrew Luck is out, okay? I hate T.Y. Hilton if Andrew Luck is out. I don't like Dante Moncrief. But Jack Doyle, he's going to get those dump-offs, and he's going to get those short passes from Scott Tolzien or whoever the Colts backup quarterback is. I think it's Scott Tolzien. He's going to get those passes. He's going to be targeted a lot, okay? And if Andrew Luck is healthy, that's even better. Andrew Luck loves throwing to the tight end. And Doyle has good hands. He's athletic. He's a huge guy. He's 6'6", 262 pounds. So he's a big target for either quarterback. And that's the thing. Big target. He's being drafted very late. A lot of people aren't paying attention to Jack Doyle, but I believe he has tight end 1 value. I think he's going to be solid this season. I can see him getting somewhere between 700 and 800 yards. I'm going to say about 750 and 8 to 9 touchdowns for Jack Doyle. Like him a lot. Target him in fantasy as a breakout player. So there you have it, folks. These are my breakout players. Now, real quick, when I say breakout, I meant guys that are getting drafted where they're getting drafted, but they will outperform where they're getting drafted, okay? So you're going to want to target these guys at the right price, which is going to be lower, and look at their ADP. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, leave a comment down below. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.